Hi, I'm Liron Cohen.
And I'm Mimi Torchin.
And you're listening to Lady Parts TV, the podcast.
Whee!
Hello.
Hi.
Wow, it's been so long, baby. How have you been?
Okay.
Good.
I know you had dental surgery.
I did. So,
Why are we acting like we barely know each other?
You think you can fool somebody? Nah.
Maybe a first timer.
Hey, baby, it's good to be here. Hi, everybody. We have lots to tell you about. This is going to be a little longer than usual because we haven't been here for a long time. Thank you for your patience. But it was hard to talk. It's still not easy, but it's not as hard. We tallied 48 primetime shows, out of which 27 were written by women, 56%, and 22 were directed, which is 46%.
Excellent.
6%.
46%.
Yeah. It's still my gum.
Sure, whatever.
No. Anyway, we're going to have several movies and several shows to talk about, so let's dive right in and start with one of my favorites, surprisingly enough, The Desperate Hour. It's in theaters, on digital, and on demand already right now. You can get it anywhere you like, and we recommend that you do. It's directed by Philip Noyce and written by Chris Sparling and starring.
The Divine.
And when we say starring, we mean 100% of the film.
About 90% of the film, really.
No, I think 99%. Like almost every single shot.
Well, she's in every single shot.
That's what I mean,
oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Naomi Watts.
Unbelievable.
Not only is she in every single shot, I would say almost in all of them she's by herself.
And she's
running.
My God, I got exhausted I got a Charlie horse just watching it.
So it's a very interesting concept because it takes place in real time, unfolds in real time, so it's about 90 minutes.
It's really the desperate hour and a half, but that's okay.
Naomi Watts plays a character who has been recently widowed. She's young and been recently widowed, and she has two children. One of them is a high school boy. And, oh, bless you, Louise. I don't know if you could hear that. Louise just sneezed. And she goes on a jog, which she does. She sends the kids out to school and goes on a jog in the middle of the forest somewhere in probably Canada. But let's say it's the Pacific Northeast,
exactly.
Or something. Northwest.
It's definitely in Canada.
And all of a sudden, this town where she lives goes crazy. There's a shooter in the high school where her son goes to school.
And she finds this out by talking to her friend.
Right. So the
thing that's amazing is that she has cell phone
reception everywhere in that forest.
In the woods. Yes.
Well, so Apple must have paid a lot of money because it's also an ad for
Yes.
iPhone, which is all the things you can do on iPhone while you're in the middle of nowhere and desperate for connection and for direction and for news and for updates. So this is her. She's in the middle of nowhere. She's too far away from the school to run to it. She tries to get a lift. It's very, very hard.
Literally, LYFT.
Yeah. It's very hard, but we follow her throughout this journey of hers, is trying to find out what's going on, the anxiety.
Well, it's her son's high school, and her son has been very, very depressed
since his father died. Right. So there's a lot of emotion, a lot of worry.
There's reason.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm amazed at how much they were able to keep it riveting at any point.
Really, it was.
When it really was just seeing her running and
talking
on the phone and Googling things and talking to Siri. But Naomi Watts is wonderful, and she carried the entire movie. We were glued to it. We were never bored.
I mean, she's used to these odysseys. Look at The Impossible.
Yeah.
Which, of course, is a much bigger, better film. But still, she's used to adversity in a film and carrying it on her shoulders, basically.
Yeah, and just the amount of running she had to do for this movie, I would be deterred if I were an actress. Anyway, we really recommend it.
Yes, it was very, very interesting. It doesn't take up much of your time. If you've read the New York Times review, pay it no mind.
Exactly.
The guy must have woken up on the wrong side of the bed. It was really an original film.
The Desperate Hour is available everywhere now. Check it out.
Okay, this is kind of my kind of film. I'm a vengeance-oriented kind of a girl.
It's a good thing Mimi doesn't have a gun.
It probably is a good thing I don't have a gun. I would settle for the power of zap.
Settle, huh?
Yeah. It's called Asking for It. It's in theaters, on digital, and on demand
Today,
today.
as of today.
Written and directed by Eamon O'Rourke. And it's a totally, really female...
Yeah, but made by a man.
Made by a man. Starring Kiersey Clemons, Vanessa Hudgens, Alexandra Shipp, both of whom were just in TikTok.
Tick-tock boom.
Tick-tock
Tick-tick
boom.
boom.
Tick-tick boom, right. Ezra Miller, Rhoda Mitchell.
Rhoda Mitchell, for you
I
lesbians.
loved Rhoda Mitchell. Gabourey Sidibe and Luke Hemsworth. So it is a vengeance movie. A small-town waitress, Kiersey Clemons, she's sexually assaulted on a date. And she just happens to run into Regina, who is Alexandra Shipp, and Beatrice Vanessa Hudgens. And she's recruited into their vigilante gang of women because all of them have been, assaulted in one way or the other. And they're pretty damn well organized.
Yeah, Rhoda Mitchell is their leader.
Yes, with Casey Camp Hornick.
And they're partners.
They're a couple,
They're a couple.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's... they really also, they are against the patriarchy, which is a corrupt, as we know, and especially against women. And they're vigilantes. And they're surprisingly effective vigilantes. They are tough, badass women, and I loved them all. It was very interesting. All the women are excellent. Kiersey is the newbie, and she's wide-eyed as they do these amazing feats of vigilantism against these great big men. Bad, mean, terrible people. And you see her, you really her sort of change.
Right, it's actually that to me was kind of the weakness of the film a little bit. I mean, I'm okay with the fact that the film was more focused on her transformation rather than on the gang, but it left too many loose ends in the end.
There were loose ends. The ending was a little vague. I wasn't quite sure what went on. It was quite violent. It was not a perfect film, but I was cheering.
It was enjoyable.
It was the acting was wonderful. It was shot in a very interesting way.
The idea certainly is very relevant.
Oh man, the idea was.
Oh man,
beware. I really enjoyed it, and I could recommend it after giving you all the caveats.
Right.
If it sounds like you might like it, you will.
Asking for It is available everywhere as of today. Another movie available as of today is Huda's Salon, also in theaters, digital, on demand, everywhere. Written and directed by Hani Abu Assad.
Who did Paradise Now, which was a wonderful film.
Yes, and I don't think you'll know the actors very well, but they were all wonderful. And it's a movie about a young woman who's a new mother. They're in Bethlehem, which is in the West Bank, I believe. And she goes to get a haircut at this woman's salon, and before she knows it, she's been drugged and put in a compromising position,
photographed,
so that she would be, so that they would be able to blackmail her. And the owner of the salon wants to kind of forces her to be recruited to work with the Secret Service for the Israelis, the Jewish Israelis. And what's interesting is that this, and what I really liked about this film, first of all, it was very good. It was very well made, very well acted.
Suspenseful,
very
heart-racing.
Hard, yes, very tough, very, very painful. But what I loved about it is that it showed, again, it's a man made this film, but it showed the women's experience of being oppressed from every possible angle, from the people in their own cultures, from the people of the Jewish people, their traditions, their religion, pretty much really how they have no way out of this.
Low people on the totem pole.
And so I really liked that it was when I saw this, I thought, okay, this is going to be about the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, but it was more about women's oppression, which is, in this specific culture, but can translate to many other cultures. And it was very female centric. It was very beautifully made, and I found it very touching and
Very moving.
very good. Yeah, very
Yes.
good. Yes. So this is Huda's Salon. I'm just going to mention a couple of the names: Ali Suleiman, Maisa Abd El Hadi, and Manal Awad. All excellent.
Excellent.
And really, really recommended. Huda's Salon is available right now everywhere.
Now, Strawberry Mansion, and I must have full disclosure here. One of the stars, Penny Fuller, is a friend of more than half a century. So,
A new friend from me, but a very beloved one.
well, she's beloved, and she's not. She's an old friend to me. She's a great actress, and she is the heart of this film. Really.
And when you say the heart, you really mean the heart.
I mean literally, she is
Yeah.
the heart of this film. It's a very strange little film, written and directed by Kentucker Audley, who also co-stars, and Albert Burney.
Whose uncle also stars.
Yeah, right, Reed Burney. Kentucker Audley, Reed Burney, Penny Fuller, Grace Glowicki, and Linus Phillips.
Are the cast.
Right, and the year 2035 doesn't look much
Picture
different.
it. No,
Picture
just
it. Somewhere in the world.
Saint Olaf.
So probably
Sicily, sorry.
Yeah, probably Canada.
It's always Canada. We love you, Canada.
2035, although the Strawberry Mansion of the title is the director's mother's home, and she apparently lived in a yurt behind.
While they shot?
Yes,
Wow.
behind the house while
Now
shooting.
that's a mother for you.
Our dreams are no longer our own. Not only are they monitored, they're taxed, and they're infused with product placement.
Unfortunately, not something that I completely discount as something that could happen.
It
If
might
they
be-
figure out the technology,
It might
you
be
know.
happening already. I dream of very specific things, although mine is usually food. But food is involved in this too. Fried chicken, a certain kind of fried chicken from a fast food joint. And this man is Kentucker Audley, is sent to find this old woman. I'm sorry, Penny, who lives in this sort of rundown mansion out in the middle of nowhere because she hasn't been audited for 7 years. And right now, everybody is supposed to have a little digital stick
to capture their dreams.
capture their
right?
dreams. But Penny has not updated.
She's analog.
She's analog. Bella.
She's
Her name is the
VHS.
character's name is Bella Isadora, and she has 2,000 video cassettes that have not been audited. And he puts on this very funny sort of like a diving helmet made with tin foil, and that's the thing he uses to audit the dreams. However, Bella Isadora has invented another kind of a helmet that blocks out the auditors. And when she convinces him to try it, his dreams lead him somewhere else completely. In fact, he meets Bella as a young woman, and therein lies much of the tale until Reed Burney, who is the head of the biggest advertising agency in either the world or America, arrives to set things straight, and he is Bella's son. So anyway, there's the story.
It's weird.
It's weird. I don't get all the allegories.
It's kind of a feast for the eyes, though.
It's great to look at. There's
set
the
decorator,
color. The
the
set
props.
director must have taken acid before setting the stage, because every little doodad and tchotchke is perfection.
Yeah, and the colors.
The colors are, and the dreams in the fields are beautiful. Penny is just out of this world.
She is. She's so good.
She's just so great, and she's so sweet, and she's so warm, and really and truly, I think he kind of falls in love with her. So when he's presented with her younger self, it's already a fait accompli. Anyway, it's mostly a visual spectacle, and you will be able to interpret many, many things in different ways, and it's against the modern world.
Corporations and
Corporations,
government, they call
right,
Big Brother.
Yeah, it's all the things that we hate and that that are encroaching constantly on our lives. But it's fun.
Strawberry Mansion is available right now, VOD and in select theaters. Check it out. And now we're moving to the TV portion of this podcast. And Mimi, why don't you start with a new Netflix show? Which we won't be able to tell you too much about.
No, we've only watched a couple of episodes so far. We'll
There's
revisit
a reason
it.
for that, though, and that's part of the review.
Oh, yeah?
Well, that it hasn't been as compelling as it could have been.
All right. Well, it's called Inventing Anna, and it's created by Shonda Rhimes. And to me, here's the reason to watch it no matter what. Stars Julia Garner.
Yep.
The great Julia Garner.
Can you imagine at this age to be called the great Julia Garner?
She's not the GOAT, but she's the great.
Speaking of which, we just learned that the second part of Ozark, the last season, is actually coming out next month. So I'm very excited that we don't have to wait a whole year.
Yes, so that we'd forget everything that happened.
Well, and also because then what's the point of saying season 4, part 1 and part 2 if you wait a whole year? It's 2 seasons.
Anna Chomsky is also in it. Anna Devere Smith, Ariane Moayed, Laverne Cox, Caitlin Fitzgerald, Kate Burton, Deborah Mooney.
It's a really good cast.
Chock full.
Yeah.
And it's about this.
It's a real life case.
It's a real It's a real life story, probably taken. No, I think it's taken from New York.
It's
not a podcast. It's a New York magazine.
It's like the Bible or
story.
Shakespeare.
Exactly. Leroy said it's probably from a podcast. I said, well, it might be from a New York magazine story because that's the other, and that's what it is from. And Anna Chomsky plays the journalist who goes after this story of this socialite who's supposed to be German but has this most peculiar accent.
Because it sounds more like Russian.
It's kind of Russian, German, funky, weird, made up. This girl who sort of takes Manhattan by storm and takes the money from the rich. I don't think she's a Robin Hood. I think it goes right into
she's
her
just
life.
A con lady.
She's supposed to be a German heiress. The whole thing is about finding out who really who Anna has invented herself from.
Right, and this starts when she's already in prison waiting for trial.
Right, and she decides to go, well, you'll see.
You'll see, but we watched 2. They're very long episodes.
They're long episodes, they're a little slow in the beginning.
Yeah, it's all over the place.
Yes.
There isn't
hasn't
enough
found a total focus yet, except the focus is, of course, Anna.
Yeah, but it's a little all over the place, and that makes it a little hard to feel as motivated. Yes, we're going to continue. I think it's supposed to. The story is interesting, and of course, the cast and Julia.
Anna is wonderful.
Mm-hmm, she is.
Julia is just
as always
so strange. She's such a strange character, but I find myself liking her in spite of herself. She's not really all that.
No,
charming.
And that's the thing also, that she's taken Manhattan by storm, and she's really not that charming.
No.
But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. So this is Inventing Anna. It's on Netflix. You can watch everything now, and created by Shonda Rhimes.
Let us know what you think.
Now to a new Hulu show that premiered just last Wednesday. It's called The Dropout. Another true story about another semi-hustler, except very different.
I think this one is from a podcast.
Yes, true crime, I think. Created by Elizabeth Merriweather. And actually, there's a 2020 piece about her this weekend.
This Sunday, I think, yes. She's waiting to be sentenced.
Yes, she's waiting to be sentenced. What a perfect time to release this.
Yep.
Again, another cast full of great people, starring Amanda Seyfried, Ann Archer, Naveen Andrews, Elizabeth Marvel, Michaela Watkins, Kate Burton again, Sam Waterston, Laurie Metcalf, Stephen Fry, Lisa Gay Hamilton, and many more. And this is Elizabeth Holmes, who founded Theranos, which is supposed to be a combination of diagnosis and therapy. Therapy and diagnosis. Right. She wanted to revolutionize the healthcare industry. Basically, she wanted to be a billionaire.
That's
she wanted
really
to be the
what
next
her
Steve
goal
Jobs.
Is. Now, she is highly, highly intelligent. Yeah. She got into Stanford,
But she dropped out, which is why it's called The Dropout.
Oh my God,
she was in her, first of all of her idos had dropped out of college.
Right. Steve Jobs.
Probably.
Yeah, did Microsoft.
Bill Gates?
Bill Gates?
I don't know that she named Bill Gates, but she had several idols.
She has lots of idols.
Who were
tech
Yeah, she
stars
wanted
mostly.
to be somebody who disrupts industries and makes billions and goes
And does
down in
save.
history.
It does save.
Well, yeah, she chose the
Yeah,
health.
she chose the
chose
health.
the health industry for a reason, and she's very smart.
Very weird. I think she must be a little bit on the spectrum.
Probably. And she invents this machine and tries to convince people to invest in it and to buy it and to use it. And
Well, she has an office. She has a.
yes,
Yeah.
they came up with this machine, except at some point it turned out, guess what? It doesn't work as well as it should work. And obviously, people got angry because when you make a mistake, when it's with a health issue, that can be deadly. So she is in real life awaiting sentencing right now. And when we actually watched a little bit of her, Amanda really got her.
She really did nail her, and because it's a very specific performance, and so I said, "Oh, she must have studied this woman."
Yeah.
And she did.
Yes.
Obviously.
This is very excellent performance. I love it when these women who used to be cast for these ingenues and these.
Although Amanda Seyfried has done all kinds of films and all kinds
she's
of roles.
definitely
She's
been taken,
very versatile.
Yeah. Anyway, she's
wonderful.
brilliant in this. And when we were watching this, because we only saw 2 so far, we said to each other that it's not a very thrilling premise, but it's told in a very thrilling way.
Yes,
It's
and
done very well.
Naveen Andrews, who's quite a bit older than she is, plays her kind of her savior in a way, her lover, her her friend.
The only person who really gets her really
exactly.
is what it is. This is very good, and we recommend you check it out. The Dropout on Hulu. Okay, finally, a new show.
A new series on NBC, an network show. And thank goodness it's not on CBS, because if it became popular, they'd move it immediately to Paramount Plus and make us pay for it. I hate CBS. Anyway, it's Monday nights on NBC. It's called The Endgame.
And we only saw 1, but we loved it.
We loved it, yeah.
we can review it.
It's created by Nicholas Wooten and Jake Coburn, and it stars the rather delicious Morena Baccarin, Ryan Michelle Bath, Costa Ronan, Jordan Johnson Hines, and Noah Bean. And it is it's a heist film, high-stakes heist film.
As a TV show.
Yes. Morena Baccarin plays an international
arms dealer,
and the slipperiest gal on the planet. She's very elegant, very beautiful. They've captured her, and now she's playing cat and mouse with them.
Especially with Ryan Michelle Bath's character, who is the FBI agent who is desperate to get her.
Female. And it's really, really fun.
It is.
And
it's like watching a heist movie with all the action and the nonstop.
The things that she pulls off sitting supposedly isolated in an underground...
She has a big network of people.
Like an underground bunker of the...
she obviously has a lot of admirers who are out there doing her work for her. But she also has an interesting background story, which we're getting little pieces of. She's a much more complex character.
Right. Although I can never think of Morena as
anything but a lizard.
In V, stabbing her mother with the barb at the end of her tail, and saying, "Now that's how you kill your mother."
You know how it's one of those things where it's one of those shows that only has 1 season. Probably nobody's heard of it except for us, but we still use. Every so often, we look at each other and say, "And that's how you kill your mother."
Well, also, because what it is her mother got her daughter to try to kill her because she's out of control. She's an alien who's out of control.
We're talking about a show now that you'll never watch.
I know, but then when she spikes her mother on her tail,
and that's how you kill your mother.
It will live on forever.
It was fantastic delivery,
and I will always love Morena Baccarin
just for that.
Just for that. But anyway, it's called Endgame, NBC Mondays. The Endgame. Sorry, watch it. I think
definitely.
If you like this kind of a thing, this kind of a cat and mouse thriller, I think you will find this
fun.
fun.
Okay, we managed to get through a lot. This is it. We have more stuff coming up. Hopefully next week. If not, then the next one. It's still touch and go, but we're very eager to share with you everything that we have happening, and more movies and TV shows are coming by every second. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And
Have
we'll
a
talk
great
to you
week.
soon.